Today's 15 December, market opened slightly positives. Gain was not significant, and in fact it retraced almost immediately. After the first hour of trading, managed to actually find a bottoms and bounce off, trading off low eventually, down 4.83273. Now after the run-ups, markets has been actually stuck in the trading range. They've been trading sideways, so over the last few weeks has been quite choppy. Today price action considered as positive generally. Immediate resistance is remain at 3,300. Support is at this pivot low here, which is at 3,221. Now this gap here provides some level of support as well. So with today price actions, we may even see further upward move. We'd like to see eventually take out this recent high here. This is at 3,313. But we just have to be very careful at this point in time. Here, markets is actually stuck in the trend range, so it can be quite choppy as well. Let's take a look at the 10-year Treasury yield. Now, after the break of this trend line with a wide range reversal bar, so markets has rather the yields has been generally trading downwards and breaking the supports in the process. We have a bounce over here. Now breaking this low here is we generally negative. This low is at about 3.4. Now in that case itself, it will be generally positive for the equity market. So there has an inverse relationship. This is the Brent crude. After this gap up, find a resistance and then it failed, testing the upper channel lines. Now this is the bearish channel lines, and after the test we see a bounce. So recently we see some upward move in the Brent crude, but nothing to shout about because generally it's still biased towards the downside. Let's take a look at S&P 500. Now over the last two sessions, we see negative development, particularly after this wide range reversal bar here, and this happens to be at this downward trend line. Now breaking this low will be generally negative. This level here is at about 3918. If you plot the 40 weeks, you can see that actually the 40-week itself has been a significant technical resistance. And on the weekly chart, we see a topping tail. Now, if it persists to end of the week, it's likely to actually continue to move forward the following week. We see similar pattern in Nasdaq. Again, on the daily charts, you can see the two reversal bars, and this particularly is quite damaging because you can see the increase in volume as well. On the weekly charts, again, this appears to be a very significant technical resistance, and on the weekly charts, we have a topping tail. Again, if it persists till end of the week, we may see further double moved the following week. This is Hang Seng Index, testing the upper channel line, followed by a doji. This is a rest. But by and large, this is still a counter trend move. The only consolations, we see the increase in volume. So that could be indications of the inflow of fund. Now we should not get this carried away. So if you look at the multiple moving averages, it's actually testing the 200 days. Now the moving average are actually generally placed this way. It does indicate that this is a counter trend move. It's very difficult to actually trade this unless you are very nimble and trade on very short term. In comparison, this is something much easier, all right, for mid to actually long-term investing. So at this point in time, unless this is taken out, followed by the first retracements, we may see the moving average crossover. But at this point in time, it is still too early. Let's turn our attention to some of the stock we'll be discussing. This is iFast. Very strong upward move. I mean, obviously over here we can see the increase in pace and the huge daylights, and right now it's consolidating. So we're actually trading sideways with the drop in volume. This is generally healthy. I'd like to see eventually take out this high here, which is at 623. Now remember, this coincides with a high volume resistance, so it's important to watch this. If you can continue to trade sideways with low volume, that will be a healthy sign. Dairy Farm, very strong move. After this pullback, stock managed to break on the upside, and right now we see another pullback. Technically, this is a big dipper setup. 2-bar high is this high here, which is at 293. Silver Lake. Stock has been actually inching upward with a series of setup. In fact, we do have 3 contraction breakout, and at this resistance level that we're experiencing a pullback. So again, we like to wait for the consolidation to be completed and take out this recent higher, which is at 40 cents. Just be very mindful, we do have overhead resistance here. Now Yanzhijiang experiencing fatigue after the run-up. Pretty obvious here. We have a series of overlapping bars not making any headway, eventually move downwards, followed by a very weak reactions. Now breaking low, this low will be negative, and this is the level we like to watch. This is at 133. Otherwise, the stock may just consolidate sideways, but remember, breaking this low will be very negative. Little firm. This is a stock that was extremely weak, but managed to actually find a bottom, and we do see reversal. Right, so we do see this trust pause patterns, and right now here we have a small deeper setup. Bar high here is at 167.